So I want to show you guys real quickly what I'm doing. I'm ripping off tiles from a island that I built a couple years back. So, and I tiled it, and some of the tiles got old and cracked. So, what I've been doing is I've been ripping those tiles out, and I'm down to just the last two. And I'm just taking like a little tiny chisel type tool, and I'll show you what I'm using. I'm using that, and I'm just going up underneath the tile, and I'm pulling out, just using a hammer. As you see, I'm using the hammer and I'm going just like this underneath, just gently, and it's actually allowing me to hammer and then pick up that tile underneath the bottom, lift it right out. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll be back to show you. Right now I'm going to chip away a lot of the old paste or the glue, and then I'll be back to show you what I'm going to do later. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys how I'm taking this off. This probably is not the tool to use, but I'm just this crazy gal in the kitchen doing stuff here. I just take this and chip this away, and it's coming off in big chunks, like that. So I'll do this all the way across and get rid of as much of it as I can. If you see it's coming off like in big chunks like that, I'm just doing that and getting rid of it. So I'm going to do as much as I can here, and I'll come back and show you how it looks for me to have it ready for the gluing. So what I did so far is I took off a lot of the big chunky pieces of this glue that was underneath the tiling. So now what I'm going to do is lay some Luan on top and actually change the whole surface of this in a second. So I'm going to lay that down and be right back. This is like 3/16 of an inch. If you notice, it's like really tiny of an inch. Notice that? It's like real tiny. You just take and put this on top, and you're going to take some screws and you're going to screw them down. Some people nail them, but I'm going to screw it down, and so the surface can be smooth for me to apply the glue for my next tiling. Okay? I shall be back. So what I have done here is I took the tile and I put it down because timing was of the essence. So I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to show you guys what I did, but I will tell you what I did. I took this particular glue, and if you see the name, Acryl Pro, I spread it on the entire surface of my board that you will see in a video along with the video, and then I laid my tiles in place. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty much knowing what to do there. But now I came across another problem. My tabletop has I built this little table some time ago, some years back, and I'll explain to you how I built that. So this is the legs that I'm going to put on all three sides of my island I made. And the reason why I have this piece of metal on top is because I already put my tile down, and so therefore there's no way of getting a screw from the top of the tile or the countertop down into this. So what I did was I went to the hardware store and I got these plates. I screwed them in here into the wood, right like this. And then I'm going to take these 2 or 4 and put them in the top of my piece here. So I will show you what I'm talking about. Here's my cabinet. So I'm going to put it in here right up underneath the bottom. So that will give some stability right up underneath there, if you notice. Okay, so I will get that done because I can't hold this and do that too. So I'll get that done and I'll be back in a few. Okay? Okay, so what I did here is I took the leveler and I continued to level my leg to what I was doing because I don't want it to be uneven, and continue to do that. I did it all around sides, and I kept doing that until I got it, make sure everything was lined up. Okay, so I will continue working on that, and I'll be back to show you that. So again, use your leveler, and this is what I did. I used my leveler to make sure that things are lined up here, and it is, and now it's much tighter. It's much tighter than it was, and it was definitely wiggling and so forth, so it's not doing it now, so I will continue working. So now, notice how snug that made that? I just added those 2 plates right there, up underneath there, and it made it really tight, so now that will not move. Also, if you have a floor with lines in it like this, if you're not sure of how to line your stuff up without a leveler, notice the line on the floor? That line right there. It's the same line at the other end of the table of this island that'll actually, if you see right between the chairs, it'll kind of give you the same idea as to how to line that on the same line. See there? On that same line. Okay? Okay, so here are the legs I added to the countertop as I was telling you all along. I put 3 legs on there. It gives it more stability. It helps the table even to enhance the looks of it, of my island that I made. Also, if you notice, it has like a, looks like a wainscoting, but it's not. It's like, all it is it's panel board with the wainscoting effect. So I bought that, and actually came white already, and I just painted to enhance the look on it. But it's kind of getting old because I did this about a couple years ago. But you could do the same idea. Just cut your panels, go to the store and see if they have some with a chip in it. Ask them if they're willing to come down on that chip, and you can cut around the chip. And I paid like $10 to do that island, to do the cabinets on the wall. The same idea, to put that in there. Just did it really affordable. So my next thing is I'm going to start working on the trim of the island. I got to put it molded up, and put molding around the edges and so forth. So I will get started on that, and then we'll come back and hopefully get started with the ground. Okay. So either call me cheap or call me frugal. These pieces of wood is a piece of wood that I took off the front of this cabinet here. It used to be on the front of here, and we had that changed out. So what I'm doing is I actually saved this because I like this pattern on here. So, but it did have a little bit of oils from cooking and so forth. So all I did was took some Mr. Clean, and I sprayed it with Mr. Clean, and it's actually lifting up all those oils and things. So they're going to sit for a little bit. But I do need to go buy another piece to do the other side of the island. So, well, I say I'm very frugal because I like my pattern. Okay, so I will be back to show you the rest. So I want you guys to see that this is what I'm getting from after spraying the Mr. Clean on there. This is what it is now, and this is what it was before. So I'm getting ready to wipe these up after letting them sit for 30 minutes or so. So I'm going to wipe them up, and I'm going to get them on. Be back shortly. Okay, I want to show you guys my progress. This is where we are so far. I took that edging, and I put it on the edges so far. See how it looks? I cleaned it with Mr. Clean. Brought it up looking nice. Looks just as good as new. I did have to replace one piece because I didn't have enough to go all the way around. So I put it on that side as well. So I will get this finished. Okay, so I'm back, and what I'm doing is I'm going to show you that I'm going to use non-sanded ceramic tile caulk. I'm going to fill it in these little skinny lines here. And there's a little thing at the end of your caulking gun. It really, you can use it to poke a hole right inside at the very bottom, because that's what's down there. It's like an empty thing down there. So it's like a piece of aluminum. Okay, so unscrew this. If you're not familiar on how to use this, I had someone, my sister-in-law didn't know nothing. She had to put one of these in here, and she didn't know how to use this. So you have to unscrew this, make sure it's got enough room, and then push that in, and then pump it. When you pump it, it'll go right to where you need to be. So what I like to do is I like to make sure my caulk is at ready. So there we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this caulk, and I'm just going to squeeze it right on top of all these little cracks. Right on top. And I'm just going to fill in everything along the way. So what you need is a damp cloth, your little squeegee little rubber. And so and that's all going to be squeezed in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill all these in. Okay, so now what I have done is I filled in the seams. If you noticed, I used that caulk, a non-sanded caulk, and I filled in those seams there. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how the best way to get that caulk into those seams. Okay? Sorry, my camera keeps moving. So that's what this little squeegee is for. You just take and you push it right in those seams as hard as you can. And that's why it's rubber, because you want to push it down in there. Get it in there as deep as it'll go until you don't see it moving anymore. So I'm going to do this all the way around until everything is actually in there. I'm using the smaller end because I can function better using the smaller end. I could use the bigger end too. And then once I get all this in here, I'm going to go right back in here and just go back over it again, just like this. And make sure everything is filled in. And just keep doing this all the way through your whole countertop and make sure everything is done with your tile. Just going to push that caulk in there. Just get it in there nice and tight all the way around. And I'm going to show you how it should look. as it's filling in. And the purpose of the wet rag is to clean off any excess. And you just continue doing that and wiping it up. So I'm going to show you how this looks and continue working on it. If you notice there, I took and pushed it in as much as I can, and then when you wipe it off, it should look like that. Okay, so I'm going to get as much of this done, and I'll be back to show you. So I want to show you what has happened here. I have taken and put all the grout in between my seams. If you notice, they're like little fine seams, and I completed the work. All I did was pushed it in, as you saw, with that little rubbery trowel, and made it where everything went in. And this is what the outcome is. This is actually the finish of my ceramic countertop. It's actually, wait a minute, it's not even ceramic, it's granite. So I use granite tiles. I bought at the tile store, and I put those in there and did the whole entire countertop. And I transformed the whole thing as well. As I showed you earlier, we put legs on this countertop. This is my island I built in my kitchen. So thanks for watching, aka Fern from the House of Glamour as well. So check it out. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like. So this is my finish, and this is the island I actually made about a couple years ago, and it was due for a new top, so I did the new top with granite, as I mentioned earlier. So this is what it would normally look like. This is the new island, and this is how it looks. Okay, thanks for watching.